What's up mga kap? Ayan, welcome to When in Halifax, and today's video we will discuss and explore the rural and northern immigration pilot. If you are applying for AIPP or Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program and you feel frustrated because you find it challenging to find a designated employer on AIPP, maybe the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program is your pathway. So join me on this video as we explore and discuss the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. On this video, I'm going to discuss the requirements and the eligibility of this program and tips on how to find an employer. And of course, you want to know or you want to compare the AIPP program and the RNIP or the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. So, join me, guys. So, what are the eligibility criteria? So, let's begin. The eligibility criteria for RNIP or Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot is you need to have a recommendation from a designated community economic development organization. So take note that number one, you need to have a recommendation from a designated community. You need to have a job offer, you need to have a work experience, you need to have an ECA or education credential assessment, you need to have a language test, proof of funds, and then lastly is you need to stay in the community. So on this video, I'm going to share and we will discuss one by one the criteria. So first, get a recommendation. So the question is, what is the community? What are the designated community for this program? So we have right now the listed on the Canada.ca. There's an 11 community. So there is a North Bay, Ontario, Sudbury, Timnis, Sault Ste. Marie, Thunder Bay, Brandon, Altona, Moose Jaw, uh, Claresholm, Vernon, and West Kootenay. So I don't know how it's pronounced, but these are the 11 designated community under this program. So the second criteria is you need to have a work experience. So the work experience is you need to have at least 1 year continuous work experience or at least 1,560 hours in the past 3 years. So maybe you're asking, I don't have a job, but 3 years, past 3 years, I have a 1 year experience. Then you are your work experience is eligible for this program. The next is you need to have a job offer. So you must have a genuine job offer to work in one of the participating community. So one of the eligibility is you need to have a designated you need to have a designated you need to have a job offer from a designated community. So if you have a job offer, you need to make sure that the job offer is from this community. Okay, so the job offer that you have must be from the 11 community listed here. So to be eligible on this program, you need to have a job offer on this 11 community that is listed here. Okay, so let's move. You need to have also an ECA. So the ECA stands for Education Credential Assessment. If you don't know what is ECA, how to apply for ECA or Education Credential Assessment, I'll put a link on the description below and you can follow the step-by-step on how to apply for the AIPP. But on this program, what I want you to take note is the Canadian High School Diploma. That's the minimum requirement for this program. a Canadian high school diploma. So the question now is, Cap, I am a high school graduate. Um, is it equivalent for Canadian high school's diploma? You need to know if your high school level is in Canadian level. You need to have a credential, education credential assessment. The purpose of the ECA is to evaluate, okay, to evaluate your education and compare this education to Canadian level. Okay, so to know if your education is equivalent to Canadian high school diploma, you need to process your credential into this education credential assessment. So there are several organizations that evaluating this your education. We have the West, we have ICAST, and many more. So if you want to learn, if you're not familiar with ECA, click the link on the description below, and I have a separate video about the ECA. The second is the language test. You need to have a language test, and the minimum requirements depends on your NOC level. So if you're NOC 0 and A, your CLV is 6. If you're NOC B, you are CLB 5. And if you are NOC C and D, your CLB is 4. So remember, identify your NOC level, and once you identify your NOC level, you can identify which is the minimum requirement for you. So every NOC level is different CLB. The proof of funds is quite higher compared with the EIPP because for the 4 members, you need to show and you need to prove that you can support you and your family once you landed here in Canada. And the settlement funds or proof of funds is for 4 members is 16,260 Canadian dollars, whereas for the AIPP it's around 4,000 Canadian dollars. And the last one to be eligible for this program is you need to stay in the community. You need to, there's an intent to live in the community. So that's the requirements that's the requirements for the program of the rural Northern Immigration Program.